Hi, this is Allie from Crafty Crafters. I'm here for another video share. I'm going to show you how to make a flip book using envelopes. Now, I'm not the person who came up with the idea. There's so many people on the web. I don't even remember which video I looked at. I know that I looked at May May Made It. I think she's the one who I actually got the real idea from. I looked at a lot of people. So I'm just going to say May May Made It. I could be wrong. Please don't be upset with me. But I just know that I love this flip book. This is my favorite one to make. And in my other videos, you'll see that I did make a few of them. So what you do is you start out by picking a pad of paper. You really only need to choose one pad of paper to make the whole flip book. Okay, so here's the pad that I chose. And then you'll need 3 envelopes. Okay, it's very simple. What you're going to do is you're going to open up your envelopes like this. You're then going to take and place some glue right along this little edge. Okay. You're going to take your first envelope and you're going to glue it down. Now, one thing that you want to keep in mind is you're going to be stuffing these envelopes with tons of goodies for your partner. So you got to make sure, if you take a look really close, notice how I didn't put it right up at the seam? I moved it a tiny bit over. Okay, so you're going to glue all 3 of your envelopes together just like this. Now what I did was I took and I pre-cut my paper so that I could do this faster, because I know sometimes it's crazy to have a really long video, and I don't know how to do that fast forward like a lot of people do, so it's always just in real time. So I'm sorry, you know, you're not going to get an exact idea of how I did it, but I will show you the measurements and everything. So this particular envelopes, you glue all 3 of them together just like this, and you have your little flap here. See, and then it'll fold up just like this. That's how it's going to go. So that's the first step. Then you will then cut all your paper to the size that you want, and I have already pre-cut. So it's a 5 by 7 1/4, because my envelope is 5 by 7 1/4. So you want to cut that size. Okay, so now if you want to go a tad bit under, so you have a white border, you can. So it's not a big deal. So here's all my little pieces, and I will show you where they go. So I've already started one so you can get an idea. So here's the 3 envelopes. Remember, we glued them together, okay? See, and I glued my first piece of paper. What I did, how I made it look so neat and tidy, is I took my papers and I grabbed a pair of scissors and I just cut. I'm sorry, I just cut. Just like this. There's no rhyme, no reason. I just cut it. And what that did was it brought it down so that it went down like this on this. And then after I cut it, as you will see, I haven't finished doing it real neat and tidy, but you can see right here, see how, and then I cut off the extra little pieces so it matched up really nice around the edges, okay? I put that pin there just because I've seen how my pin worked. Doesn't matter because it's going to be covered up. So I first covered these ones. Then, and I marked them so I knew which ones. So I pre-cut everything. So on the back, you'll see that I have all the things marked. So here's the back cover. And you'll need another back cover. And then another back cover. So it's important that you pick your papers to look really nice. Yeah, they're all different. So I flip it over, and now I'm going to do the back. So I decide which backs, how I want them to go. I like, personally, to do something like this every time. So I'm going to do that. So I took and you glue your back cover on. Of course, yours will take a bit longer because you're going to have to figure out. I think the hardest part also is figuring out what papers you're going to use. So you notice how I leave like a little bit of an edge here on this one? Take a look. See? Just a little bit of edge. So you're going to glue all 4 of your papers down. Okay? And that's 5 1/4 inches. But it's not really 5 1/4 because I took and I went a tad bit under. Just like 1/8 of an inch. Okay? So I'm going to glue that one right there. And you notice, remember how we did those little flaps? Notice how the flaps are shown white right there? Right there? and you have your little edges. There's a reason for that. You're going to see. We're going to do a special binding, which I know a lot of people who make these flip books. This is where I kind of steered away and did my own thing. So I got the ideas out of several videos. Then I decided that I wanted to do something a little bit different to make it sturdy. I know the original intent was to use washi tape. Washi tape does not stay. I'm sorry, it does not stay. So I decided that I was going to do something else. So I have a piece of binding. I call it the binding. I cut it 1.5 by 7 7 1/4. So that will fit right here. So what I do is I take and I pre-fold the paper in half. Okay. That way it's easier to go on. So you want to start by doing that, and then do that, and I pre-fold the other one because the other binding is the same, and they're going to go right here on my book. So you pre-fold these in half. That way it goes really, really nice, okay? Okay, so then what I do is I take and I make a new fold right about there. Then I take my little glue. And when I say by a new fold, let me explain to you. Put my glue here and I'll show you. Is that, original fold on the envelope is right there. Okay, right there. So I took and I made a new fold right there up against that. Then I take my little piece of paper, and I put it on here just like this. And I press it down. Okay, you just now made a nice little binding for this particular side. So now you're going to go to the other side, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to do your new fold right there. You're going to grab your little binding. See, when I first did my first flip book, I used washi tape. Oh, and I hated doing them. I did not want to do them. I thought, I don't want to ever do these again. They're a lot of work, a lot of time consuming, and they're expensive when in the end it's like, do I really want to do this? No, I like pocket letters better. I like altering things better. So I decided I wasn't going to do this. So for the longest time, I rebelled against it. And then I saw this video on how to do it with an envelope, and all of a sudden it clicked. I can make some awesome ones, and they'll be sturdy. So I kind of messed around with it and did a bunch of stuff and figured out that I like flip books after all. But I only do them with envelopes. I don't do them any other way. So now you just take your little things and just spread it out, and then see, here's the back. See how pretty that is? And it gives a little extra decoration. And if I put washi tape on there, it just comes apart. This way it's good. And by the way, I used the Tombow Mono liquid glue because it's a fast drying and it stays. So the back is pretty much done. So now we go to the inside. So when I do my things, I like to make it look really pretty. Plus the fact that you're now thickening it up when you do this. That's the best part. So now I will take my inside, which is 4 by 7 1/4, and I will glue it inside each one of these little pockets. And what's cool, wait, actually, you know what I like to do? I'm going to just show you something. Is I insert it in, and I put it right where I want it. It doesn't have to be glued all the way to the back. So then I take and I put my glue in just like this. Okay, and let's put a little bit in here, and I lay it down. Okay, now that is glued down, and that makes that look beautiful. And I do the same thing on this one. So I stick it in. I make sure it overlaps right here. So notice how it's overlapping? That's very important. Okay? Because you want it to overlap. That gives the sturdyability and it also keeps it sealed. So I just stuff my glue in there. Just like that, as you can see. And I lay it down because I've already lined it up. So you can't make a mistake if you do that first. Okay? Now, you let it dry for a couple seconds. Refold everything back down to where you like it. See? That looks beautiful. Take this, do the same thing. Refold it. So now there's only one thing left. You've now made this almost done. Now, you need to do your flap. So I have my little inside flap. I will stick it in here like this. And see how it lines up like that? But I do something different. I just want to show you what it looks like. So this goes in here like that. So what I do is I take and I actually put the glue right here on the flap. Okay, and it doesn't have to go all the way in because the inside, it's not that important. So I match it up to that little edge there. Notice how I match it up. And then I line it up the best I can and press it down. Now, see what it looks like? Now I'm going to turn my thing over, and I have my other flap. It's 4.25 by 7 1/4. The other one was the same measurement. I'm sorry, I didn't give the measurements on this one. This one was actually 5.5 because it has to go inside the pocket part. So now I will take this one, and I will actually put the glue on this part. So I go all the way to the edges. Now, one thing, you're going to lay it down, but you're going to do like a cute little thing. So you want to take and do this. Make sure it goes glued all the way in, because what I'll do is I'll take and put a little paper edger puncher thing in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down right here, line it up the best I can, push it down. Okay. So now you have the outside, but then I'm going to grab, I forgot to grab this, hold on. After that's down, I'm going to grab my little puncher here, and I'm going to punch a cute edge. So I don't know if you have any of these things, but oh my gosh, it makes it look nice. That's all I got to say. So you just take and you punch a little edge. So you just take and punch this. Oops, got stuck again. Okay, so here's your little edge. So now let's take a look at our book. So it folds up, folds up. Now, this is the important part. Almost done, guys. I know it's a long video, I'm sorry. Is I take and I match up. See how the edge is right there? Make sure it matches up about right there. And I line it up and I fold it. So now you've redid your fold for your book. And there's a reason, because you're going to stuff a bunch of stuff in there. You want to make sure there's enough room. Then you take and put another fold right there. So now you've made a cute little thick binding area. See? So now your book is ready to go. You just decorate it. So I usually have tons of stickers and all kinds of stuff. And I make waterfalls. So here's the book. Look. And it's very, very thick. That's the bonus part. And if you notice that sometimes if the things didn't get totally glued right, no big deal. Just go back. Evidently, I didn't put enough glue close enough to the edges. Go back. Put your glue in there. Press it down. And you're good. So that is how you make a envelope flip book. Without using washi tape, and it looks beautiful. Has binding on the back. Here's the back. As you can see, this one is not decorated. And I make sure I decorate the inside of each one of these. And what I'll do before I start decorating it is I will take and cut off all these extra little edges and make it neat and tidy and clean. Okay? So thank you for watching my video. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. And have a good day. Bye.